Support Wrestle Talk!
Give us a subscribe.
Hello and welcome to the Wrestle Talk News. I am Luke Owen. Chris Jericho has had a pretty busy 2018 thus far. He wrestled at New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom 12 and Dominion, appeared on Raw 25, was part of the Greatest Royal Rumble, released a new album, debuted on Being the Elite, continued his podcast empire, and arranged Impact Wrestling vs Ring of Honor for his Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea. As if he didn't have enough on his plate, it was revealed yesterday by filmmaker Kevin Smith that he can add actor and cameraman to his resume. The man behind Jay and Silent Bob posted an image of he and Jericho from the set of his horror anthology movie Kilroy Was Here, where Y2J plays a YouTuber called Gator Chaser. Smith said of Jericho filming his own scene, homie goes with the flow and not only crushes his character and dialogue, but shoots a damn spooky scene as well. And if Jericho's 2018 has been busy, it looks like 2019 is set to be even bigger. Since he faced Kenny Omega at Wrestle Kingdom 12 earlier this year, there have been questions over Jericho's WWE status. He said in interviews that his appearances at Raw 25 and Greatest Royal Rumble were done on handshake deals, and he hasn't been officially contracted to WWE since WrestleMania 33. He also said that while he didn't need sign-off, he called Vince McMahon himself to tell him about his Alpha vs Omega match at the Tokyo Dome, which Jericho said McMahon was very happy with. However, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, McMahon was less than thrilled with his return to New Japan to face Tetsuya Naito at Dominion, which has only become more interesting when he cryptically tweeted recently 2019 is going to be an interesting year, Free Agent Jericho. Huh, sounds like his next acting gig. Free Agent Jericho reporting for duty, ma'am. So where will Free Agent Jericho be going? Kenny McIntosh of Inside the Rope spoke to Jericho earlier this year about shows like All In, which Jericho said he wouldn't do because it was in North America, which he views as Vince McMahon territory. Here's what he said.
I always felt like the unwritten rule was I don't want to go into the States. I felt that'd be a real slap in the face to Vince.
This has come into question recently when there have been lots of rumors about Jericho debuting for Impact Wrestling, which is currently being co-run by his good friend Don Callis. Jericho himself has teased a move to Impact, and when a fan pointed out he wouldn't go because it was in McMahon land, Jericho replied, not necessarily. Dave Meltzer also wrote in last week's Wrestling Observer newsletter, while no one will say anything, there is a lot of belief within the business that Jericho is destined to be in Impact Wrestling, and the not wanting to do anything that would get Vince mad doctrine isn't nearly as strong as it was months ago. And who was there to quickly swoop into Jericho's mentions following his not necessarily comments, but Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks, who replied with emojis of a bag of money and a contract being signed, with Cody replying to insinuate that he's been tossed the ball and he should run with it. Or, knowing Jericho, these cryptic tweets are just to let us know that he signed a multi-year deal with WWE and will be a surprise entrance in the Royal Rumble next year. Someone who feels that Jericho in Impact Wrestling is a sure thing, however, is former X Division champion P.T. Williams. The Canadian Destroyer was recently on Wrestling Perspective podcast and said that he wouldn't be shocked if Jericho came into Impact, and added that the company could use him as a bargaining tool to get on a bigger TV station. When it comes to negotiations, right now if we go here's our stars, they'll be like, I don't really know any of these people. They might say, I know a couple or whatever. You have Jericho on there, you present it to a network and they're like, oh yeah, Chris Jericho. Williams even recalls when TNA got their TV deal with Spike, Raven was their champion, but they switched the belt to Jeff Jarrett on a house show just before their first episode because he was our most recognizable person for us to go onto Spike TV with. WWE SummerSlam is coming this Sunday, and Ollie and Laurie will be in the Wrestle Ramble studio on Monday to give their full review of the show. I, on the other hand, am going on my honeymoon for 2 weeks and will miss it. I'm also missing TakeOver Brooklyn 4, which I'm more gutted about, to be honest. But if I was around to watch the show live, I know what I would be doing. Following WrestleTalk's Twitter account to get live reactions from WrestleTalk.com's resident news hound Andy Datson. Support WrestleTalk by following them on Twitter. And you can watch Ollie, Laurie and myself give our SummerSlam predictions right now by clicking the video on screen. I've been Luke Owen, and that was wrestling.